Hey guys, how's it going? I want to take you guys through the welcome garden. I used to actually call this the front porch garden, but now I've got so many different gardens around the property that I've rebranded it as the welcome garden. So you're welcome to come on in and I'm going to show you what's blooming today. So the last time we were out here, we had some ajuga blooming, bugleweed, and the start of false indigo, which is back up there. It's no longer blooming, but it does have those beautiful seed pods. My plantings along the wall are looking really good. I've got Truffula Pink by Proven Winners, gomphrena right here. Love, 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 love that one. And I've got a beautiful hosta coming in. I don't know the variety because I didn't plant it, but I really do love the variegation on it. Isn't it gorgeous? It has a little bit of tinge to it because I recently sprayed it with some plant skid repellent. I've had some deer problems around the property, and so I don't normally spray this one, but I'm doing it just to kind of let them know, hey, don't snack on me. But this garden I had planted, I don't know if you guys remember, a couple videos ago, I planted a bunch of pansies and they are still in there. I haven't pulled them yet. They're still doing okay. And I have a bunch of petunias mixed in there. If you're not familiar with petunias, they're by Proven Winners and they're like a self-cleaning petunia. You don't have to deadhead them. They just kind of take care of themselves. They can get a little leggy later in the season, like I would say in like July, so you might want to cut them back a little bit just to promote a bushier, branchier growth. Especially if they're in like a hanging basket or a container or something. But they're really spectacular, and I've got a few varieties here. I'll pop the names of them on the screen just so you can kind of know what I have here. But I know I've got Bordeaux and Bubblegum Pink. I don't recall the other one offhand. It's the dark purple one. I'll have to look it up and kind of, like I said, I'll pop it on the screen for you. I've got some snapdragons planted along here and some celosia. This is the celosia that I started from seed from Floret Flower Farm. It's doing amazing. It's doing really, really well. I've got some blooming down in the potager and it's just doing really well. You could see my hydrangeas down there are blooming. This has been the best year for hydrangeas, by the way. Most of my mop heads, if not all of my mop heads, are just covered in blooms and have been covered in blooms like for quite some time with the birds. Got some more snapdragons coming in here, some celosia tucked in. This is black-eyed Susan that sort of reseeded itself here. It loves the location, so I'm leaving it alone. I have noticed some rabbit damage on my salvia, so again, this is why I used plant skid up here because it works really well with deer and rabbits. Groundhogs too, even some voles. And actually I've turned myself onto the granular in addition to the spray repellent. I think I'm gonna use that granular when I plant my bulbs this fall, and I'm gonna put it in with the bulb just to make it a little extra unpalatable. So hopefully those, the rodents won't dig them up as much. I've got a beautiful yarrow here. Oh, doesn't that look so pretty with the coneflowers? Bees are loving the coneflowers right now. And I've got some zinnias planted along the back. I've still got the seed heads from my alliums, Globemaster alliums going. Coreopsis, I think the rabbit got to that because it does not look like it did last year. And I think next year, number one, I'm gonna probably use a garden support for it, like a grow through support. But what tells me the rabbit got to it is the nibbles. So I think the rabbit's been kind of mowing it down. So I'm gonna need to be a little more proactive next year. The reason why I wasn't as proactive about it this year is because we've had some foxes in the area. They used to have a den behind my house, and they're gone because we did some drainage work in the back where we needed to clean out the drainage lines that were already here, and I think it disturbed their den, and so they left, and I've got more rabbits this year as a result. So next year I'm gonna have to be a little more proactive about the rabbit problem. I kind of got a little complacent and I'm a little regretful. But anyway, I've got Euphorbia Diamond Frost in here too. I love Euphorbia Diamond Frost, also by Proven Winners. great filler for containers, the borders, you name it. I love it. I've got some penstemon and some bee balm that finished up. And actually, I need to fill that hole. So we're gonna pretend like it's not there. And over here, I've got some gomphrena, which is one of the reasons why I've been so proactive about spraying for rabbits up here, because I've seen the rabbit and look, some damage. We just had a storm come through, so I've got some branches down that I got to clean up. But isn't that a shame? And it was like a week ago, we were out by the pool and I had just planted some truffle of pink gomphrena out there, and I literally watched a rabbit mow down the bloom. So I came up here to check on them, and lo and behold, I've got damage. So I sprayed them with plant skid, and the bunny has left it alone ever since. So if you've got a bunny problem, I highly suggest grabbing a spray bottle of plant skid and using that. You can also add some clover to your lawn. That'll feed them, and you know they're more likely to leave your plants alone. But if you need a quick fix, plant skid is a great option. Look at that. I've got zinnia, ate it to a nub. I planted a whole bunch of sunflowers in here. I have 2 left that I'm gonna actually spray today. I put these wire cloches over them, which worked, but then, you know, they come to get them after I take them off. So I gotta spray those. In these containers, I've got fanflower, pink lemonade, calabricoa, and super petunia mini vista. That's that beautiful purple shade, really pretty. I had a similar combination last year that I really loved, and I just decided to do it again. I've got everything running on drips. I've also got some fanflower up there as well. We ran the drips, as you can see. I gotta fix the wire on that. But you know, it's looking really good. And just to kind of show you what I've got going on the front porch, we were actually out here last night, so it's looking a little used. But I added these new pillows this year, well, pillow covers, that I just kind of felt were like bright and fun, and they look good. Look at that with the abelia. Now that abelia plant blooms for a long time, and I get butterflies, and it's really fun. There's a weigela right there next to it, and I've got a hardy hibiscus right behind it. I added some ferns this year, and I just moved some houseplants outside. I have to keep them right up against the house so that they don't get any sun, so their foliage doesn't scorch. So there's that. I've got a hibiscus here, and then I've also got my plant skid that you can see I've been actively using. I've got some lantana over here. I love these containers. I've had these for a few years now, and I love the copper finish on them. This is actually the side of the container, but I love those handles. I just think they add a fun detail. So I've got some super petunias in there, and then over here I've got my rockers with the same pillows, and clearly I need to fluff them up and fix them. Whoops. But look at that pattern. Isn't that so pretty? And I love it with the green too. I've been going with more neutrals in the past, but this year I decided to pump up the color. I do want to add some flowers to these. I just didn't do it yet. There's just been so busy doing other stuff that I just didn't do these yet, but I will. I'm thinking about adding some super petunias there as well, probably some pinks, because I'm really digging the pinks this year. But yeah, and the other big news is, and I know I mentioned this before, that statue is coming down. I mean, it's neat, and I wish I had the money to move it somewhere else on the property, but I don't. And I have someone that's interested in taking it, so I think we're gonna let them have it. I'm keeping all the rest though. I do love all the rest of the sculptures here, but this one I'm just not so into, and I wanna really kind of get that garden cleaned up, get all the pachysandra out, and plant it with some flowers. So also, I guess I didn't mention that this is 9-bark that just wrapped up blooming. I've got a viburnum here, and then right over here is another hardy hibiscus. It's getting ready to bloom. It'll probably bloom in like another couple of weeks, just in time for summerific week with proven winners, but really happy with how this garden is coming along. and love it.
And that's it, you guys. Thanks so much for joining me in the garden today. I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy a beautiful day.